The Dutch press used one word this week: nightmare. Not challenge, not difficult opponent, not tough draw. Nightmare. And when the legends of Dutch football start using that word about your national team, you know something has fundamentally changed in world football. Welcome back. Morocco versus Netherlands, round of 32, June 9th. Mexico. The draw has been made. The match is confirmed. And the reaction from Dutch media, Dutch legends, and Dutch players has been extraordinary. Today, we break down exactly what they said, word for word, name by name. Because when Van Dijk, Van Basten, Sneijder, Gullit, and Robben all say the same thing, you need to hear it. Let's start with the man who captains the Netherlands. Virgil van Dijk spoke immediately after the final whistle of Holland's win over Tunisia, and his words were not what you'd expect from a captain building momentum. He said, and I'm quoting directly, "The Morocco match is completely different from the Tunisia match. We know that very well. Morocco finished 4th at the Qatar World Cup. They beat Spain and Portugal. They reached the semi-final. This is an extremely difficult game. We would have preferred not to face Morocco in the early rounds. They have big players performing at the highest levels. Bunu, Saiss, Brahim Diaz. Playing against them requires exceptional calculations because they have a high fighting spirit and the ability to strike on the counter at any moment." Read that again. The captain of a nation that has reached 3 World Cup finals, saying he would have preferred not to face Morocco. That is not tactical modesty. That is genuine fear from a man who has faced the best attackers in the world every week in the Premier League. Marco van Basten, 3-time Ballon d'Or winner, one of the greatest players in football history. He went on Dutch television network NOS and said this: "Morocco has become a real psychological complex for the major European teams in world tournaments. Let's remember recent history. They eliminated Spain and Portugal. They beat Scotland at this World Cup. They beat Belgium at the last World Cup. And they held Brazil to a draw in this tournament. And they were the team that deserved to win that game. Honestly, my concern is growing about this complicated match. Playing against the Atlas Lions is like a nightmare for any European defense because of their tactical organization and their extraordinary ability to absorb pressure, and then hit you with lightning counterattacks. If we are not at the absolute peak of our focus and readiness, we could find ourselves out of the tournament very early against this terrifying generation that fears no opponent, big or small. A terrifying generation." Those are Van Basten's words, not mine. Wesley Sneijder, 2010 World Cup finalist, one of the best midfielders of his generation. He spoke to Fox News America and called this, and I'm quoting again, "This is the darkest scenario I feared above all others. Facing Morocco in the round of 32 is the most difficult test possible for the Netherlands. This match will be like an early final, a heavyweight final for the entire tournament. Morocco is currently a serious and powerful candidate. They are a fierce and stubborn opponent that no rational person can underestimate. Honestly, on a personal level, I was hoping we would face Brazil in this round and completely avoid Morocco, because playing against the Atlas Lions right now is football suicide. They have a terrifying and cohesive system that can create shocking moments at any point in a match. And if Holland enters without complete defensive concentration, if they try to show off the attacking power they displayed against Tunisia, the windmills will stop. Their pride will be shattered in Mexico by Atlas Lions, who have the spirit and the physical superiority to destroy our dreams. Football suicide. Sneijder didn't say it would be difficult. He said it would be suicide." Ruud Gullit, European champion, world class in every era he played in. He spoke to beIN Sports and delivered what might be the most daring of all. Morocco does not forgive in knockout rounds. They have a terrifying unit that plays with an extremely high fighting spirit, supported by a massive crowd that will shake the stadiums in Mexico and make them feel like they're playing at home. They have a remarkable balance between an iron defense and a fast, lethal attack. This match requires doubled effort, continuous running, and absolute concentration for 90 minutes from Holland. Because any tactical mistake on our part means immediate elimination and a flight back to Amsterdam. Morocco proved in the last World Cup and this one that they have the character of a true champion. They have a football pride that shows up against the giants. And they have a smart coach who knows how to close spaces completely and neutralize the opponent's key players. Holland scored many goals in the group stage, but scoring against Morocco's solid defensive wall will be a completely different story. Our players must prepare for a physical and mental epic that requires absolute sacrifice. And finally, Arjen Robben, one of the most decisive players in Dutch football history. He spoke to BT Sport in England and said, "I am genuinely impressed and stunned by this terrifying generation of the Moroccan national team and the extraordinary performance they delivered against Brazil. What they did in the Qatar World Cup was not a leap forward. It is real football DNA. Morocco is currently an extremely difficult and fierce opponent. It is very hard for them to be defeated in a major clash like this, just like they'd excelled against Spain in Qatar and created a defensive and offensive epic that stunned the world. The match will be played in Mexico. The conditions there will be hot and extremely difficult. Morocco is completely accustomed to such conditions when they play in Africa, while we in Holland will suffer greatly from this humid weather. Morocco has superior tactical flexibility and clearly outperforms in playing under this physical pressure. I genuinely believe this match will not be decided in 90 minutes. I am firmly convinced that this game will go to extra time, given the tactical solidity and high fighting spirit both sides possess. And I clearly see that Morocco has a huge physical and mental advantage in the decisive moments. Because of all these factors, I believe they are capable of snatching qualification and eliminating Holland if we do go to extra time, because they are a team that never tires, never stops. If the Dutch players think this crossing will be easy, they are deeply mistaken. And it wasn't just the legends. The 6 largest newspapers in the Netherlands all led with the same theme this week. De Telegraaf, one of Holland's most read papers, ran headlines warning of the Moroccan nightmare and describing the match as the biggest trap for Koeman's squad. They wrote that rushing forward against the Atlas Lions will end in inevitable disaster. De Algemeen Dagblad ran the headline, "The Iron Moroccan Defensive Wall that shattered the pride of Spain and Portugal and made Ronaldo cry is fully ready to repeat the scenario and grind the windmills in Mexico." De Volkskrant focused on Morocco's physical power and tactical organization under the headline, "The African Terror Threatens Holland's Dreams," recalling everything the Atlas Lions did to the giants of Europe, and concluding that Morocco has the flexibility that makes them the closest to winning. 3 of the 6 biggest newspapers, one message: Morocco are coming, and Holland is not ready. Van Dijk said he didn't want to face them. Van Basten called them a psychological complex for European football. Sneijder called playing them football suicide. Gullit said they don't forgive. Robben said the match won't be decided in 90 minutes, and Morocco will have the advantage when it matters most. This is not the Moroccan media speaking. This is the Netherlands, a nation with 3 World Cup finals, legendary players, a proud football culture, and they are scared. Subscribe for full Morocco World Cup 2026 coverage. Every match, every reaction, every story worth telling. Drop a comment below. What's your prediction for Morocco versus Netherlands? And who do you think will advance?